All right, we are live for this very informal watch party, everyone. We are gonna, myself, Fred Lambert, editor-in-chief of Electrek, and Electrek's own Jameson Dow joining us live from California. Oh, sorry, I have my in the background. Okay, that should be better. So the show is starting in 30 minutes. We already have some information about it trickling in. So it looks like Tesla turned, for those of you that just joined in for some reason are not aware what you're watching, even though the title is pretty self-explanatory. There's Tesla's its We Robot event, which it describes as its vision of the future of autonomy. But before being called a We Robot event, it was called the Robotaxi unveiling, and we expect Tesla primarily to unveil a dedicated self-driving vehicle based on its new Unbox platform. That's going to be its main goal. It's going to be to operate a robotaxi service. Simple as that. Of course, there's a lot of layers to that stuff that we're going to get into, and there might be a few other surprises. Optimus probably not going to be a surprise. I think we're going to expect an update on Optimus because it is called We Robot after all. And but might be some other vehicles unveiled. We know that Tesla is due to launch 2 new vehicles next year. 3 if we count Roadster, but the Roadster is basically a fairy tale at this point. So when you have 2 vehicles launching next year, sometimes it makes sense to unveil them, a little bit before that. So maybe, we don't know. But yeah, some information trickling in right now. We know that Tesla is holding the event at the Warner Bros. What do you call that? Like a studio lot? Is that?
Yeah, the studio lot in Burbank.
Okay.
And on that lot they have a bunch of production facilities, and they have their costume department and all that kind of stuff. They also have like a few little fake cities, which they use. Either there's like a fake suburban street, and then like a fake like kind of downtown small town America kind of place, and a fake like city city block with stores and things like that. So stuff that gets used as movie sets, and then also gets redecorated anytime they want to do a new shoot.
Yeah, and we learn right now Tesla has like turned these little section that Jamie just described as different areas that they called Tesla Theater, Metropolis, Westworld, and New York. So the idea is that there's pickup and drop-off points. You can walk between, you can seemingly walk between all of those, but there's drop-off and pickup points. So Tesla is likely going to demonstrate its self-driving through the Robotaxi there, or if not the Robotaxi, at least it's FSD. So maybe like an early version of the Tesla network working with FSD on Tesla's existing vehicles. One or the other, or both. I don't know. But it's clear that Tesla wants to utilize the area to demonstrate the self-driving. And of course, we speculated that because these look like, or at least can look like, regular streets, they are not public streets. They are private streets, and that enables Tesla not to apply for self-driving permits, which Tesla has always avoided for years to do in California. All of the automakers testing out self-driving in California, like Waymo, like Cruise, like name it. The Apple did it for years. You have to apply with a permit with the California DMV, and then you enter the program, and you have to release regular reports regarding disengagement, regarding crashes, and all that. Tesla doesn't want to do that for whatever reason. They never.
And you have to say how many miles you've driven and everything too. I think that Tesla did like the very first step of it, but they just haven't released anything, no data.
No, so they did file for it at the beginning with a couple of Model X, and that was for the original, I forget the actual name of the video, but the original FSD demonstration in 2016, 2018 probably at that point. And those were on public roads in California, so they had to apply a permit for that, and they had to register their miles with that. But that was purely just to film that video for the demonstration, and then they moved on. So even though you can criticize for sure what Tesla is doing right now in private roads with this event, it's still a step up from what happened in 2012. But that happened years ago too. So By the way, so we still have 25 minutes before the show and before the unveiling. So if you guys have questions and everything, comments, free to comment on all the platform. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, even on X. For a moment, I thought that the event would only be streamed on X because Tesla only sent out the link through X, but just maybe less than an hour link on YouTube, which is good news. Oh, we have our friend Joe Boras from Electrek also joining us for the fun. Let's bring him on stage right now. How you doing, Joe?
Hey, Joe. I mean, it's the middle of the night. I'm waiting for Elon Musk. I'm crabby.
Yeah. So there's always this risk.
This is the start of my day, you guys.
No, yeah, that's
Jimmy's
wrong.
on a different schedule than us. But yeah, there's always the risk with a Tesla event. It's Elon time. It might take a bit. But this one looks like they went above and beyond with everything. So I don't know if you caught that, Joe, but we just discussed the map that Tesla has with the 5 different locations within the Warner Brothers studio. So it looks like a very intricate demonstration that they are planning and everything. So maybe that indicate that we could be more on time, on schedule. I don't know.
Be fun. We'll find out.
Yeah. So we have Zachary here that says, "Hey Fred, been wanting to ask, what do we know about the future power share plans? Expect to see it in Juniper or limited S and X?" Yeah, I mean, Drew Baglino, Tesla's VP of Engineering, before leaving earlier this year, did say that going forwards, all Tesla vehicle will be capable of bidirectional charging. So yeah, I think it's fair to assume that Juniper is the refresh Model X that Model Y that we expect early next year. So yeah, it would make sense that it would be on there. Musk is destroying Tesla. Yeah, that's an opinion that a lot of people share these days.
Yeah.
Sintoman says, yeah, I think it was exactly on August 29, 1997. So I think that's Skynet. So some people before that commented that they think that Tesla is going to announce that they're activating Skynet today.
Oh, man. Could you imagine?
Carl, I think you might be a little bit over zealous on this one.
I just imagine, I just want to imagine like a Terminator built by Elon, but like the early Teslas where stuff was falling off of them. So like he comes out of the thing, I need your clothes and your motorcycle, and his arm just falls off. No, I think it'd be good.
Hey, I have an early Tesla. It's going fine. It's going all right.
Well, you have the Roadster, right? You actually have a sick. Yeah, that's
very early Tesla. Actually, my mom's Model 3 though has been 2500 something, and it's plugging along pretty well, and we haven't had a lot of problems with it. So
nice.
I don't know. I'm pretty impressed by that. I got plenty of annoying things to say about Elon, but I think that Tesla does
cars are
fine with cars.
By the time the Model 3 came out, I think they were a lot better. Oh, something's happening.
Yeah. Model S. Well, I'll tell you something else. There were some early Model S's that were an interesting combination of features because they had, I saw one that there was a tech package that was like a $3,000 feature that had a whole bunch of different sensors and improvements and all kinds of stuff. And I remember seeing one Model S that had just a really weird random assortment of tech package features that were just randomly included with the car. Like the guy didn't pay for tech package. He just got half of the tech package features just because. So it's like, yeah, okay. Early Model S was a little shaky.
Jamie Northrop says, "I'm done with your channel. You're supporting a fascist. Unsubscribe. I will buy Electrek, but screw Elon Musk." Not sure you're following this channel very closely.
The conversation. What were we just talking about?
I was gonna say I thought we were just here to rip on the guy for 2 hours. That's what I signed up for.
I already started pre-writing an article to rip on him.
Did you really? That's so good.
Okay, hold on. No, it's because here's the thing I'm looking for. The really interesting thing that I want to hear, and Fred doesn't think this is going to happen. I'm not sure if it'll happen. I don't think it'll happen either. But if we hear that the Robotaxi has sensors on it that the Model 3 and the Model S and such don't have on it, then that's going to be big trouble because Tesla just sold, 5 million vehicles and 10% of them or whatever have FSD. So they've sold I think they have $3 billion worth of deferred FSD revenue or something like that. So what happens to all of that if we get to the point where they now admit that they need more sensors to make FSD work? And then what happens to all those vision-only cars? Now, this again is speculation. Who knows? There may or may not. They may or may not announce anything about additional sensors. But if they do, that's something really interesting to look for. I
But
think.
so additional kinds of sensors, or because I can't like new Model Y, Model 3, all types of vehicles have better cameras than they are in my Model 3, for example.
Right.
So hardware 4 cameras are better than hardware 3. So that alone, like, is something that we need to keep track on and see, because there's also better compute power in the latest vehicle versus mine, and Tesla is still promising full self-driving in my vehicle. So yeah, Gregory says from bumper camera is needed. That's also true. There are some blind spots within Tesla's current sensor suite. So there's a lot of questions to be heard. So I think, but you're right. I think one of the main focus we have tonight is like looking at this cyber cab, robotaxi, whatever they're going to call it, and see what powers its self-driving features and what's the difference between that and the current hardware. I think the most likely thing that we're going to see tonight is that this cyber cab is going to be powered by hardware 5, which is going to be just an iteration of hardware 4, what's an iteration of hardware 3. So mainly more, not necessarily more cameras, but maybe different camera placement, but for sure different camera placement, because it's going to be a different form factor in the vehicle. But maybe higher resolution cameras, and then maybe a new onboard computer with more power. Those like on my main thing I expect right now that I wouldn't be surprised to see.
Do you think we're going to see a van, though?
Say that again?
A van?
Do you think we're going to see a Robovan?
Yeah, I mean, that's been a rumor, and like it makes sense because it looks pretty confirmed that the cyber cab is going to be a 2-door, 2-seater. And if they do that, Tesla's going to be hammered by people. It's like, what are you doing? Like releasing a two-seat vehicle for what would be kind of a mass transit replacement. And for things like the Boring Company, for example, was supposed to get a higher transit vehicle, so that it would make sense for that. I wouldn't be shocked to see a Robovan either.
What do you think is the least likely thing to see? Like, and I'm not talking about least likely, like they're going to show Godzilla. I mean, like something that is within the realm of possibility. Like, I think the least likely thing we're going to see is a production roadster.
Yeah, Elon flies in on a roadster.
Right, because they can fly.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I mean, what was the last thing that Elon said about the roadster? Was it supposed to be unveiled? Well, I mean, like, obviously that doesn't mean much, but was it supposed to be unveiled this year? And then
I thought it was
production next year?
Production next year?
I'd be pretty hyped up.
So July 24th, Elon Musk reiterates production in 2025.
That was at the meeting, the shareholder meeting.
Yeah, with the respects to Roadster, we completed most of the engineering, and I think there's still some upgrades we want to make to it. But we expect to be in production with the Roadster next year. It'll be something special. Yeah, last time he said something about are we going to show it this year and in production next year? Now it says production next year. So yeah,
note that at that shareholder meeting, Tesla/Elon said that you're going to see the Semi next year. You're going to see more affordable models next year. You're going to see the next gen Roadster. You're going to see unsupervised full self-driving. You're going to see the Robotaxi, and you're going to see the Optimus robot all in 1 year.
Oh, I forgot about the robot.
I think possibly some of those won't happen.
What if they all happen tonight?
Yeah. It's just so many. Like, they're going to change the world in 6 different ways. It does. Right. I could see one. Maybe.
Do you think he's going to go up there and start stumping for his candidate of choice, or do you think he'll leave this one apolitical?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to mention that, but it would be the only time and place he doesn't mention it.
Yeah, I think as much as I give him a lot of flack for this and deserved flack, I think that his Tesla appearances for the last several years have stayed apolitical. I think that sometimes he's felt a little bit off message for Tesla and a little bit like he's just rehashing things that he said in the past that he just kind of barely believes anymore at times. But then at other times, I think he actually has seemed connected and interested. But for the most part, he's kept that stuff out of Tesla things, except at last year's shareholder meeting where he was talking and then he goes off stage and he's off stage for 5 minutes and he sends 3 tweets.
He's tweeting, yeah.
Like,
there was a meeting a couple months back, might have been a year ago, where they tried to show the depth of talent at Tesla, and they showed that broad bench of people.
Fred has a great video about that.
Fred has a great video, and he also had a great article that most of those people are gone now.
Not most, but a significant amount.
A lot.
Well, it's what, 8 out of the 30 direct reports are gone.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
that's a lot, dude.
A lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Yeah. To be fair, a lot of those were fired. Maybe not, like some of those were fired directly by Elon. So it's not like like people like to say when we report about executive leaving Tesla, people like to say like rats are jumping the sinking ship and whatever. Like in this case, it's the captain of the ship that's throwing them off board, but not necessarily for good reasons.
Is that better though?
It's not much better.
No. No, it's not, because it's like at this point, if you get fired by Elon Musk, it's not a bad thing on your CV to have, like on your resume. Like it's like you get like Rebecca Tanucci got fired this year.
Everybody
by Elon
immediately,
and now she's the head of sustainability and electrification at Uber. Like it's not that much of it's not even a step back in my opinion. Like she's doing good, and she's going to contribute a lot to the mission of accelerating the advent of electric transportation, because Uber is a giant fleet, and whatever you can do to accelerate that, it's going to have an impact. So yeah, I mean,
do you think
tonight
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, in terms of being political tonight, like I would be shocked if it gets into that. But at the same time, like we cannot say that he's kept politics completely out. I mean, I don't know if you can say politics, but at least is personal belief out of Tesla. Like things as simple and as dumb as removing Disney Plus from the cars this year. Like that was 100% Elon. Like he was in his little fight with Disney, and because they stopped advertising on X, that was it. And he's like, "You're out of Tesla because you stopped advertising on X." I was like, "Ooh."
Yeah, not so much that he's keeping his beliefs out of Tesla, but that I think he's keeping them mostly out of these speeches. You know what I mean? So I think at the event, he'll probably make some stupid joke that like, "Oh, blah blah blah, immigrants." I don't know, but. You know, he'll probably try to make some sort of joke about, or like,
I hear you. Like it'll be about the taxi. Like, don't you hate getting into taxis driven by immigrants? Now you'll get into a taxi driven by no one.
Maybe not that. Yeah, but some kind of comment about, I don't know, population decline, or I don't know. I could see that, but probably nothing.
Oh yeah, I mean, that everything having to do with jobs. So like he's starting to talk about like the era of abundance. He's starting to talk about like labor crisis and all that. Mm-hmm. All these things are linked to his idea of fully autonomous humanoid robots with Optimus. Yeah. I'm actually more hyped about Optimus than Robotaxi, to be honest. I think Optimus is more easily feasible than Robotaxi.
Oh yeah,
really?
Yeah, like humanoid robots don't go 100 miles an hour. They don't they don't operate in they can, but they don't always operate in high risk environment that can cause like life-threatening situations. They as soon as you have like high enough level of AI and robotic dexterity in the hands, humanoid robots make a ton of sense, and they can replace a lot of workers. So I think while I do see like Robotaxi having some value, but I think right now I think the Waymo approach with the geofence and the mapping is just, it works better for now. Like the economics don't work still, but so Tesla, I feel like Tesla has the lead on the economics of Robotaxi, while Waymo has the lead on actual like working technology of Robotaxi. Like, so now so Waymo is working on like improving its safety while improving its economics to a point that makes sense, while Tesla is still looking to improve its safety a lot, obviously, but it has the economics figured out if it works, if it can catch up on the technology side of things.
I actually agree with Fred on this, because I think that if you have an if you have a humanoid automaton, right, it's dealing with, let's say at the maximum, you've got one of these at your New Year's Eve party, it's dealing with 40 or 50 people, and not all of those at the same time. Where if you're driving down the road, you're still dealing with that many personalities and that many different kind of social cues of like, this guy's driving a weird way. And I think that's a lot harder to compute for, because you're dealing with all those unpredictable variables at a much higher speed and in rapid succession, where I think in a factory floor, you just don't have that. Even in a hospital setting, you're dealing with far fewer variables. So I do agree with that.
Well, it's smaller stakes too, smaller stakes.
But that's the question is, are we talking about whether or not Optimus will have any use, or whether or not it will have, AGI that makes it as capable of a human at doing any task and can just...
Oh, no, neither of those things. AGI. It's just easier than Robotaxi. That's all. It's just easier than Robotaxi.
That's what I'm saying is the last unit of that of, Optimus being worth $20 trillion and everyone on Earth having 2 of them or whatever. That I think is far less feasible than Robotaxi is. But the chance of Optimus being able to move packages around an Amazon warehouse, sure, absolutely, yeah. That'll
I mean, it depends. Like, if the economics work, like I just don't know how much. I have no idea how much it cost him. Like Elon said, like $30,000 for the Optimus and everything. Like, if that's true, which I have no idea if it is. I have my doubts. If that's true, then maybe yes, maybe like the impact and the volume is that massive. But yeah, I was more talking about like having a useful humanoid robot that can perform like a variety of tasks. Like you don't need AGI for that. Like you need to just like right now you have software robots. You have automated AI software that you can show it a task, how to do a task on the computer. Just by watching you, it will be able to replicate that task intelligently, maybe even like more efficient if you ask it to. So I think that's not easily, I should say easily, but it is somewhat replicatable in the real world environment with you get your Optimus out of the box and like, hey, watch me do this. Can you do it now? Like he does it, and like, it's not as good. And then you can train it to do a little bit better. I think that's very feasible. So you just needed, for humanoid robot, you just needed like the AI to catch up to the robotics. And I think we're seeing right now the beginning of that. Like we've seen like Boston Dynamics for years doing some cool things, but the dexterity levels and all that weren't there until more recently, I think.
That's the other question, is whether they'll be any better at this than other companies that have been doing these humanoid robots,
Yeah, there's some cool things like Figure One, and then there's another one too that just last few weeks that unveiled. Like people thought it was like when Elon unveiled the Optimus and the human with a suit. The people thought that their robot was that, and it wasn't. Or at least they claimed it wasn't. But so that's like the best compliment you can you can give someone. Can you imagine if Elon unveiled the Optimus with the dancing person in the suit, and then it was not a dancing person in the suit? Like, yeah,
right.
you won right there.
That would be impressive. Like if you thought it was a guy in a suit and it wasn't. So I would just want to give us all, before this thing gets started, I want to give us all an incredible compliment. I think we've all been very mature to have gone this far talking about Optimus without mentioning sex robots.
I don't find yeah, I think that's maybe a different
that's a different show.
Company is handling that one, maybe.
I mean, porn has pushed technologies in some aspect.
That's why we all have 8K TVs right now.
It was HDD.
It went up, I think, but like was it? But I think VHS and Betamax too. Weren't they like the porn decided to?
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
so this is actually a serious thing. Like this isn't a joke. Like the porn industry, the adult film industry has actually been a huge driver for technology. Also, broadband adoption, high-speed internet, digital compression, 3D video. A lot of these things were initially funded by basically by by smut, right? I mean, literature as well. The original photographers in the early 1900s. There's all kinds of documentaries about this. That
First
is
thing
something
they printed with a printed press.
100%. Like this is a real. It's
either that or the Bible, one or the other. Is the one that does it, right?
Sure, both of those. But I mean, I think that like I think to kind of dismiss that as a joke and say like, well, ha ha ha, that's why people have carry around full screen monitors in their pocket. Like this is a real thing. And if you look at the history of the internet, like this is kind of one of the things that helped make it happen. So, the only real question is whether or not it's going to be something that continues to influence technology as we get into the humanoid robot and AI phase.
Well, I'm hoping that Elon doesn't mention that on stage, but if we're talking about things that we think are unlikely but possible, I'm definitely going to put that in that category.
Yeah.
Tesla Roadster is slightly more likely than that. Yeah.
I mean, I think you missed that, Joe. But when we were talking about Tesla changing all the little spaces in the Warner Brothers studio into their own little new location, the one of the location is Westworld.
Oh no!
So, Westworld,
wasn't his ex-wife on that show?
Yeah, she was. You're right.
Oh,
good callback.
I did see a short video from somebody on Twitter who's at the event, and it looks very different, or excuse me, very similar to what the lot usually looks like.
Yeah, I don't think they invested a ton in modifying it. And
yeah, I don't think they've done new sets or anything. I think they're just.
But there's probably a Western set on that lot.
Yeah. I mean, and they'll have people in costume or whatever, I'm sure. But
they'll have Optimus robots in costume.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Howdy, partner. They go to pour you a shot of tequila. Another one, quick.
Well, we haven't seen an Optimus robot talk yet, I think. But if we talk about things we're going to see, I think I wouldn't be surprised to see Elon like on stage with some Optimus robot, like dancing or doing yoga or whatever, like some things like that. Like
if he had the kind of sense of humor that would enable him to laugh at himself, he would have an Optimus robot do that weird jump behind him.
That would be
jumping is actually pretty hard for a robot too. I know, like the Boston Dynamics.
It's hard for me too. I'm almost 50. I don't even know if my knees will survive it.
Yeah, I think. I mean,
should we all warm up for this
now? We're getting a minute away.
Yeah, we got to stretch.
Do some jumps for the stream.
If you want to get a little bit more serious with a minute from the event, I think what we want to see for real though is like actual data. Like if we talk about Optimus, like if it's Optimus, like show us actual like video of it being useful and like some like perception that understand, like not just like some VR, because they have like VR training stuff like that. We don't want to see that really. When it comes to FSDs, show us the actual data. Like we are just working with crowdsourced data. They have never released anything other than the miles, not the disengagement, nothing like that. With Robotaxi, if he can spend some time actually explaining the difference between that and the FSD program and how that would be affected, I think that would also be appreciated. Okay, waiting for Tesla.
Especially given the thing that I was talking about earlier about whether, what's going to happen to all the cars that already exist,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. That's.
Do you think it'll be stainless steel or no? They learned their lesson with the Cybertruck and they're not going to do it again.
It could be stainless steel. I wouldn't be shocked.
It does look like I mean the example pic that we saw in the biography does look like it could be stainless steel.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. But they let that get out. So is that?
Well, so the sample that we saw in the Warner Brothers lot, the very heavily camouflaged.
Yeah, the yellow one. Oh, we forgot to talk about McDonald's. Is this where they finally debuted the chicken Big Mac?
McDonald's thing. I don't think the McDonald's thing is going to be a real.
We have something.
We shall soon see.
I'm gonna put some sound on there.
Here we are.
This is exciting.
Oh, it's just some waiting. Very Westworld type of vibe.
Yeah, I like it.
Fred, Zachary says, Fred, have you thought about Elon refocusing Tesla on autonomy being related to the charging team layoff? Supercharger expansion non-compatible. I don't think he fired the entire charging team and then started rehiring it because of autonomy. I think we talked about this story several times already, but I think it was pretty straightforward. But it's true that self-driving vehicles do need wireless charging or robotic charging. That's true. But the only wireless charger we know about right now that Tesla is working on is a home charging station. It's level 2. It's not DC fast charging, and it's not for commercial purposes. So I don't think that.
But there are in-ground induction charging systems out there. They're not the most efficient, but they're operating at 100 kilowatts in Indiana, and I want to say Port of San Diego. They've got something that's 50, 60 kilowatt in action right now. So I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
We're beyond the realm of the theoretical. Now we just have to get the cost down.
Yeah. Do you know like the efficiency rate on those?
I don't, but I could get it. I've got a pretty good relationship with some of the Port of Long Beach, Port of San Diego people. I'm sure.
Yeah, they have a lot of electric trucks, right?
I've heard that it's surprisingly high efficiency. I was expecting
it's getting closer.
Yeah,
and people need to remember like cable charging is not 100% efficient. Like there is like a 5% loss sometimes, like something like that.
Yeah,
I just am not really a big believer in inductive, except for like limited uses.
I mean, it doesn't solve a big problem right now.
Yeah,
for autonomy, maybe, but right now, like I've never forgotten to plug in my car in 8 years of driving electric.
Oh no, what it solves for is trucking fleets, commercial trucks that are that have a lot of dock time, that have a lot of idling time while people are loading and unloading. And frankly, where you have union regulations that say that the drivers can't plug in or refuel the vehicle, you just park it where you park it and it fuels up. But yeah, if
it's not an autonomous vehicle, why can't they just like while they are docking and why can't they just plug in instead while they're docking?
Because the union won't allow it, man. The Teamsters won't let it happen. Nor should
you know you're joking, but at the same time, it's true.
I'm not joking. That's the real answer.
No, that actually is the real answer.
Really? They already talked about it, even though like it's just started happening. They already talked about it.
There's an actual rule.
You can't say it's just started happening. I mean, they've had Volvo VNRs, Freightliner electrics. The first orange EV yard hostler went into action at O'Hare International Airport in 2015. So these conversations have been had.
And they said, no, we don't want it plugged in. They think like there's a higher risk of it catching on fire or something if it's plugged in.
I think it's just a workers' comp thing. Like they don't want to, like the megawatt charging cables weigh just a ton. And they don't want their union guys doing it and throwing out their back. And now it's a workman's comp thing.
Boy.
It's a
whole... Thomas Reimer says, this is like watching Real Player. Remember like Windows, like back in the day with Real Player? Like that.
Oh, I missed that though.
The visualization button to make your music do the visualization.
Yeah. I'm going to do a whole episode of Quick Charge that way, where it's just the sound wave. Nobody wants to look at me anyway.
That could be fun.
It'd be great. The ratings would go up. They'd be like, oh, this guy has something to say. When you're not looking at how ugly he is, he actually makes some sense.
Actually, so Richard has an interesting question here. We should definitely be looking at this video frame by frame with a magnifying glass, like proper Tesla fans, and figure out exactly what this pattern means 15 seconds before we actually see the car.
It's just AI generated stuff. That's what it looks like. Fred says, Bill says, when is Fred going to Eurobike? So many good e-bikes. I went like 2 years ago and it was absolutely awesome. There's nothing better than a bike show. It's just so fun. I haven't gone in the last 2 years. We have Micah that generally goes there. He produces a video there every year, and it's just awesome. I'm very jealous. I'll just try to get there next year.
He can also get there. He can get there a lot easier from Israel. Yeah. Too, so.
Yeah, he's based in Tel Aviv.
I'm getting more into e-bikes. I didn't send you a picture of the one that I tested yesterday. It's a funky looking thing.
Which one is it?
It's called the Owlet. It's a Ukrainian couple that's trying to get something started. They're building it in LA. It's interesting. It's a 3,000 watt kind of motorbike sort of looking thing. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay,
oh, that's crazy.
But it's small. It's only 100 pounds, so it's kind of in between a bike and a motorbike.
Oh yeah, that's what you want is an ultra lightweight 3,000 watt motor.
Yeah, it definitely gets you going.
It's weird looking as hell,
man. And you sit right over that rear wheel. Ooh, no thanks.
It's got an adjustable. It does look like
like the term with motorcycle, you call it a crouch rocket.
Literally crouch rocket. Yeah,
yeah, that's what it looks like.
But yeah, it's kind of in between a bike and a motorcycle. It's kind of an interesting little thing.
Jeez, it's weird looking.
I mean, it looks fun, but gosh,
it's a real
geometry on that looks crazy. Yeah, oh yeah.
You can adjust it. You can make it longer, wheelbase.
Oh, so it's a moped. It's not. There's no pedals.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I do prefer ones with pedals. It looks like we have a computer.
You're gonna wear a helmet on that thing, right?
Oh yeah, I wore a helmet.
No.
Yeah, 3,000 watts. It's almost like my Sauron.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be kind of in that range, the Sauron realm of things.
Yeah. I think after 3 years of being on e-bikes, I graduated back to an acoustic bike this summer.
An acoustic bike? No, I love mine. My regular one. Oh,
well,
man.
I love this one. I have here in the back here, the Envo, because it's
that's cool.
It's 40 pounds, not even for an e-bike. So if I run out of battery on this thing, I can still.
Just not even exactly. I think it's 36 That's what I love about mine too. It's also 40 pounds. Same thing.
Yeah, so you can use it normal. I have what do you call the fat tire one, the big brand. I forget the name of it.
Oh, like Aventon or something.
No, it's a little bit more high end. It's modern bike stuff, but they are fat tires one, and they're super heavy. They're nice bikes, super nice bike. But I go into the national park here that I have not too far. It's 20-minute ride to get there, and then you start riding in the forest, and you have to think about it when about running out of batteries, because if you run out of batteries with those big bikes, you're screwed. It's a nightmare to pedal that.
Oh, especially on a trail.
Yeah.
The only e-bike. Yeah, the only e-bike I've ever tested that I have kept long term is it's SWFT. It's a BMX style bike, and it doesn't look like an e-bike. You just never know it's an e-bike.
I've never seen a BMX e-bike actually.
Yeah, it's sick, and you just you're doing your thing in the BMX. It's a little heavy, but it doesn't matter. And then you're done. You're tired. Your quads are burning. You just hit the throttle, whiz home at 25 miles an hour. It's great.
People say that the stream is jumpy.
It's on. It has to do with your computer, I think.
He's calling you out.
Yeah,
that's weird because it looks fine on my computer.
I mean, it's fine. He's not. There's nothing happening. It's just whoosh, whoosh. It's fine.
Yeah. No.
Do you have it on 1080? Maybe back it off to 720 or something to smooth it out.
Yeah, I haven't used StreamYard before, but I think the issue is something in the encoding. It's happened on some of the podcasts and other streams before too.
Ooh.
But it's mostly
I
when
generally don't run the StreamYard. I run the like it's set that generally runs it, so I don't know like if I can. The settings only seems to be like my own settings for my.
I mean, it smoothed out for me.
Yeah. Oh, I can see a little bit on the stream now, the jumpiness of it.
Yeah, I have it open in 3 different windows so that I can see what people are seeing.
Oh, it couldn't possibly be a bandwidth issue.
Not on my end.
Do I need to switch on the X stream instead?
It could be a bandwidth issue. I don't know.
I mean, I
don't
have gigabyte
think
internet here. So.
Oh, interesting. Then maybe not. I don't think the X stream would do it.
Yeah.
Could be processor. I don't know.
All right, let's leave it like that. I think that's going to be better from there. I have CCs on. I don't need the CCs. All right, so we have about 10 minutes late so far.
Yeah, standard. We're all on Elon time. I feel like Elon time is maybe going to be even more of an influence this time, because if people are spread out across like 4 different areas at the event.
I would assume that they're not giving out the rides before the event, before the event showcase, because then the pictures will leak everywhere of the
Do you
cars,
think they're going to have
doing...
people? Yeah, I was going to say, do you think they're going to have people taking rides in the Robotaxi?
Yeah, well, you missed the beginning of like at the beginning we showed that there's 5. They separated the Warner Brothers Studios into 5 different locations, and each ones they have a name for it, like Metropolis, Westworld, New York, Tesla Theater.
Yeah, but that could mean anything. Or do you think that's going to?
But they have a pickup and a drop-off spot for each one.
Oh, I did miss that.
They've been
can,
testing
call a taxi and get the Robotaxi to pick you up and go to the other place and check out the Tesla Theater. And there's some of them have food, some of them have drinks, some of them like show movies. So so they want people to move around.
They've been mapping the area for like weeks now too.
Yeah. So again, for those people who missed the beginning, we're talking about the fact that Tesla is using these, these streets look like regular streets, but they're technically private streets. They're not in public because they're part of the studios, and that allows Tesla to operate self-driving vehicle there without a permit, because you can operate self-driving vehicle in California. You can just get out of the Warner Brothers studios and, well, now that I say that, I'm not sure that they're actually in Burbank, Waymo, but maybe you would know, Jamie.
Burbank, Waymo's not in Burbank. They're south of the
Yeah, so that's what I thought. But like pretty close to where Tesla's going to do this, like Waymo's actually operating Robotaxi service in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's like maybe 5 miles away or something.
Waymo this goes up very Westworld like opening.
Okay. Yeah, so Waymo's range goes up to like West Hollywood or thereabouts, and then there's like some mountains, and then on the other side of that is Burbank, which is where everything else is.
Do you think there's anyone who took a Waymo to this event?
No, it doesn't go all the way here.
Yeah.
There are definitely people who took a Waymo today at some point, probably. But the ones that they don't actually go all the way to this event.
All right, we're coming up on 15 minutes late. It's good because you have a jiu-jitsu event to watch at the same time.
What is that? What does it say? Tactical hugging on your...
Oh, yeah, jiu-jitsu, sir.
I saw someone...
That's invitational. It's good jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Someone told me that jiu-jitsu was the art of folding clothes while someone was still wearing them.
That's a good one. Yeah. Makes sense because I suck at folding clothes. So.
I don't know. Jamie strikes me as more of a capoeira guy.
I almost got into it at one point.
I can see that. I wasn't even kidding.
I got the long limbs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a less violent martial art too. It's more like it's dancing and martial art at the same time.
Yeah.
Exactly. But you know what I think I'd be good at though? Here's the thing. I think I'd be good at Muay Thai. I have really sharp elbows.
So they would cut a lot.
Yeah, I
Cut
wouldn't
people
want to
up.
get elbowed in the eye socket by you. Of course not. I think
I've
that'd be good.
gone through so many like armrests on my chairs. Elbows just destroy everything.
You always see like the English professors that have like the leather patch on the elbows, and I'm always like, who needs this? Apparently, you need this.
That's
You're
what
the
I
guy.
need to start working on that.
You're just going through these sleeves like nothing. So Javier says looping. Is it going on the loop already? We went to a full loop.
Yeah, it's looped at least once.
Okay. Because I thought it was gonna start, but nope.
The AI generated visualizer ran out of AI.
Twitter has a view crown. What's the count on Twitter, Thomas? I haven't checked. On YouTube right now, it's 100,000 people waiting for this thing to start.
Are you dead naming X?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I absolutely will.
I call it X though. Like I don't care that it changed the name that much. Like
no, I mean, even if it's X, I still say I tweeted it.
Yeah. That's the thing. There's not like you can say post, I guess, but
post. What
like,
the heck is
tweet
post?
Was fun.
Post is such a generic word. Like you can post anywhere. Yeah. So it's not. You're just killing your own branding. This is terrible. Terrible decision.
Yeah, tweet was fun.
Yeah.
Somebody
I care more about the fact now that every time I open it, I get a bunch. I get like 20 Elon posts in a row, and then I get a bunch of Andrew Tate posts, even though I don't follow him. And then I get some porn. I love like I'm waiting somewhere like in public. I love to pull out X and just watch. And then nowadays I'm scrolling in public, and then poof, like porn, full on porn that shows up. It's
I've heard other people say that same thing, that they just
it's unusable now.
Yeah.
You can't use it at work.
I never have, so.
And Instagram, you can have like some I've never seen straight up porn on Instagram, I think, but I've seen like gory stuff, but like there's a warning thing, and then you have to actually click on it and whatnot. And there's that too on Twitter, but it doesn't work for porn, looks like. I don't know.
Crazy.
Yeah, but he's gonna figure out self-driving by the end of the year, though.
Sure. Interesting. Somebody posted no, this can't be real. Someone posted like what looks to be a Tesla spec ad with a Robotaxi dropping off some DoorDash. I think it's
no, I've seen that. Yeah. Okay. So someone created a very convincing like a video announcement of DoorDash partnering with Tesla, but like it's with a Model S that's driving it actually, and it's just it was a fake ad basically.
Yeah,
it's not impossible because Waymo partner with Uber Eats, so maybe Tesla's going to try to partner with somebody, but it would have to be in the Geofan software logs area.
Yeah, I think the only thing I noticed about it is that it did look a little bit like the Burbank studio. So I was like, wait a minute, and then I was like, no, that must be a spec ad. Spec ad is when like an advertisement like guy makes a fake ad for a company just to show how good they are at making ads.
Do you think with Tanucci at Uber that makes it more or less likely that robotaxis will get adopted by Uber?
Say that again.
So I don't know if I'm saying her name correctly, but the woman who was at the head of the supercharging.
Rebecca Tanucci,
Yeah, Tanucci. So Tanucci being at Uber, do you think that makes it more or less likely that Uber will partner with Robotaxi?
I think Uber will partner as soon as they see it like a viable option. Uber has partnered with Waymo, Uber has partnered with Cruise, Uber has partnered with WeRide in China. But what those services have in common is they have deployed usable, commercially available robotaxi services, which Tesla has not. So, it makes no sense right now for Uber to partner with Tesla for FSD. Like Tesla already partners with Uber. Like we reported a few weeks ago when they combined their they actually use smart car for it, but like smart car had to be approved with Tesla through the API system and whatnot. So Uber is saying that partners directly with Tesla on this, that they are using the data directly from the car to the app, and you can, from the Uber app, you can set it to your vehicle navigation, the ride that you're doing right now, and it also tracks your battery capacity in order to only send you rides that are within your battery range and things like that. So those partnerships are very likely. I don't think that Uber would not want to, or Tesla. I think if someone would not want to, would probably on Tesla's side, because Tesla has done some things in the past about like not wanting its vehicles. Like I think at one point, I don't know if it's in there, but in the FSD contract, there was a mention that you cannot use FSD for another ride sharing services than Tesla Network, even though Tesla Network don't even exist or like,
doesn't exist. Time, so. Yeah, that was in 2016 or 18 or something. They put that into the contract. Which
JK says Elon finishing his kitten and
yeah, right.
That's so good. The commenters are so
keep those. Keep those. The internet is all time undefeated with that stuff. It's just
that's the crazy thing about this, like the world we live in now, is that whenever anything happens, the optimal joke is found within seconds.
Yeah.
Like, because everybody makes the joke, then everybody figures out, oh, that's the one. And then that's the joke that's the optimal joke for that event globally. And just everything is that way now, which is crazy. It's like, how do you even be a comedian in a world like that? Because everyone thinks that every joke is stolen now, because there's just everybody saying a joke.
Yeah.
There's some good ones. All right, another loop done. 20 minutes in.
I'm really glad I stayed up for this, guys.
Yeah, that's the thing, guys. Like Jamie's fine. Jamie is on California time, but you're in Central time, Joe, or
yeah, I'm in Chicago time.
Yeah, Central time.
Yeah.
And I'm on East Coast time, so it's gonna be a long night, and I'm gonna have to write an article after this whole thing too. So I ain't in bed until.
You can't get AI to write an article for you. Optimus comes out there, types it out. You all set.
I wish. Sometimes I use AI to help me with some things. Like it is useful, but not writing whole articles.
No.
I hope
JB Straubel is at the event.
Ooh.
That's not that big a surprise. He's chairman.
He's still on the board.
Not chairman. He's on the board.
Yeah, I forget his name, Joe Gebbia, I think, the founder of Airbnb, who was on Tesla's board too, tweeted before the event that if you think you know everything about what's going to be unveiled today, think again. And think as something that we haven't anticipated.
Sure. Yeah.
You'll be able to check into your Airbnb by plugging into the destination charger.
I mean, Elon did describe the Tesla network thing as a mix between Uber and Airbnb. But honestly, that's one of the things that I've cooled down a lot about. Like when you first talk about Tesla network and like making money, like sending your car to work for people while like driving to work, and then instead of parking your car, just telling your car, "Hey, go work for me," in the Uber rides. Like that, I have to admit, like, nah, I was wrong about that. Like, and Elon is wrong about that. I think it's just that wouldn't work, or that wouldn't be financially viable, because the cars would be available when all the cars would be available. So the supply would completely overdrive the demand. So even if your car could maybe make some money, it would not be much money every time that happens, because when you want to use it is when other people want to use it, and that's how Uber make its money. It's with surge pricing and all that. So you won't take advantage of that, unless you want to do like some things that I know some people have been thinking about doing. I've known some people who have done that. We have like been building fleets of Tesla vehicle with FSD, thinking that soon enough they're going to be able to do it. Those people are not doing great financially,
No, they have done poorly. I also think that, like, I don't know, man. Like, I just wouldn't want random people in my car. Like
that too. That's the set argument.
Emotionally attached to the car because I'm old or whatever.
Set argument. As soon as Elon said that, Seth was like, "I don't want other people farting in my car."
Yeah, well, me and Seth are the same age, so I think that doesn't. I don't think that disputes anything that I just said. Like, I think that's. I feel kind of Gen X-y, when I say stuff like that.
People are making some Tesla share price prediction now, 420 by tomorrow.
Is that American?
Normally, like, I'm not even like judging the event or anything like that, and people know I sold my Tesla stocks like at 230 like a few weeks ago too. But normally, it's like buy the rumors, sell the news. Like that's generally the case, unless Tesla surprised like crazy and there was no actual rumors of what Tesla claimed it was like what Tesla is going to unveil today, like something we never heard of. So I don't know.
I think that the expectations for this event are significantly lower than a lot of other Tesla events too. So
yeah,
there is always
the
the
report
chance
on
that
that.
it's the other way around.
Yeah, specifically on Wall Street expectation, at least on the Wall Street expectation, it's quite low. Like anyone other than Morgan Stanley, like Adam Jonas, like who's always like has the craziest idea. Everybody else is like, yeah, I mean, we ran the numbers on the Robotaxi, and it just doesn't make that much sense until at least a few years and all that, and like which most reasonable people looking at the data is like pretty obvious, but you know. Elon keeps saying by the end of this year.
Jonas is so funny how he just like he's like kind of normal and reasonable, and then just something comes out of nowhere, and you're like, who's talking about that? What are you talking about?
But lately, he's become like a parody of himself. Like when I still get his notes, and like the last note was like, it's a positive note about Tesla, and the title is like Elon Musk's dream economy. Like, yeah, it is a dream. It's gonna stay that way.
Yeah,
not necessarily, but like the way he phrased it, like people keep saying Cybercab now. Like, is this gonna be the actual name? You think Cybercab?
I hope not.
Yeah, you don't like it?
I don't like it.
I still think we should have turned the whole site into Johnny Cab Central for today. That would have been amazing. Welcome to Johnny
I don't
Cab,
have the capacity
powered
to do
by
that.
Electrek. If we had thought of it 6 months ago, we could have made it happen.
Yeah, right.
And I thought I was gonna miss the main event from because of the event, but at this rate, I'm gonna be able to see the whole card.
We should do it. I was gonna say we should do a drinking game. Just every time the thing goes into a new loop, you gotta take a shot of tequila.
Well, you got to start a pool for how late it's going to start. Of course, there's no point in that because we've already gotten past what half of the answers would have been.
Jack Catch says Elon is still tweeting, and I'm like, this could be a joke, but this could also not be a joke. Elon, 2 hours ago, no, his last tweets, 2 minutes. You can watch this on your TV. Oh yeah, you can watch him not starting his show on time. 3 minutes ago, he tweeted. So there's a bunch of like fake movie posters they're sharing, like AI movie poster,
right.
like the.
Oh yeah, that looks kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Put them up.
About them doing it on my phone instead of on here. But
oh, so he's promising a master plan part 4 this month, apparently.
Oh, good.
When number 2 or 3 hasn't happened yet.
I would just love, even if it's fake, even if it's just lip service and he doesn't mean a word of it, I would really like to hear something about, like the old mission and sustainability and
he's no joke, like tweeting and tweeting to replies and all that too. Like it's
yeah.
Okay. Oh, that one is very all thought out. This one, like Musk.
The Musk?
Oh,
jeez. Okay.
And he's crying, laughing emoji on that one.
Really? Okay.
So Elon always like Kanye. I love it. Gali, like stop simping. You don't love it. No one loves it. Like that's dumb. But it's called foreplay. Like this is, and then a person in the crowd on a medical emergency, we're taking care of them before starting. So Elon claims to have a real excuse for this. So it's not late, but they want to see it.
Yeah, I mean, making excuses for missing appointments is definitely not anything that Elon has ever done before.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully whoever is dealing with their emergency comes out of it okay.
Yeah, obviously we hope that they're okay.
That's so gross, man. Who sits there, like who sits on a Teams call and like, you know, somebody else is late and the first thought into your head is like, foreplay. Oh,
Wait,
I
what?
mean, Elon's
so
has a
embarrassing,
lot
dude.
of sims that, you know, not high IQ stuff.
It's just embarrassing. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I am not advocating for bullying in any way, shape, or form, but like I think like a little bit of extra peer pressure to like normalize would have been good for some of these guys.
Well, that's the thing, is that the peer pressure to normalize people no longer exists on Twitter because they're all weirdos.
Well, the peer pressure is to be horrible, right? Like,
yeah. That's why I'm not on there. But
Yeah,
I mean, I was not on there a long time ago, so I can't say that's why I'm not on there. But
so this is yeah.
Your browser lost connection to your screen share audio. Can you still hear from this?
I got it.
Yeah.
I can hear everything and
Okay.
But
Siri.
you've got
you can
three
hear.
screens. How do you know which one it's coming from?
Yeah.
No, you guys are the only one. The other ones are muted.
Oh,
No. Okay. The other screen. So you hear the music too from this, like.
I do not.
Oh wait, wait. Sorry. Oh yeah, no, you're
boost
right. I don't hear the
too.
music. Oh.
Okay. Let me restart it. Then. It's working now.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh. Well, that's bad news.
What
Maybe
just
I'll
told you
stop
that?
the sharing.
StreamYard? Yeah, maybe. What said you lost the connection?
StreamYard said that they lost the audio to the screen share.
It's back. That's good.
I think it's back. All
Yep.
right, I'll reduce the audio then. Until there's actually someone on stage. Trump said he would ban autonomous vehicles today. Did he actually say that? Because I wouldn't be shocked if he said that, and that would be kind of funny if he said that today.
That he would say what now?
That he would ban autonomous vehicles.
That does sound like
that's one thing that I said. Like I don't know exactly. I don't claim to know. I know there's a bunch of theories why Elon went MAGA, and you know some say like he doesn't actually want to be MAGA. He just hates the Democrats. Some say it's like he's afraid of persecution, like legal persecution, and he would be better off with the Trump administration. Like I don't know which one it is, and some say that it's full like Russian oligarchat move, and he's giving money because he thinks he can control Trump and all that. Whatever it is, one thing I'm sure of is that Trump will turn on Elon sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Even like if he wins,
for sure.
I give him like a year before the Elon and Trump honeymoon phase just drop off and he turns
100%.
on him, and
not even a year. But
yeah.
I mean, I don't think the theories are needed. He's just addicted to social media, and his brain has rotted, and his idea of politics is whatever the algorithm has fed him. That's it.
Like, if you
think
put
it's
an
any more
8th
than
grade kid on 4chan and like
that's him.
unfiltered and unsupervised, he's gonna come out sounding a lot like Elon in about a year, and like we should not act surprised by this.
Yeah, and Elon's got about the same political sophistication as an eight-year-old kid on 4chan.
So I think this is real because Sunny Raju just sent a link to a post from Ms. Jillian. Ms. Jillian she's a Model S owner, and she has FSD in her car, and she does great does great reviews of FSD. Yeah,
and she
straight
says that
on October 10. On October 10, Trump at the Detroit Economic Club says, "But the autonomous vehicle, we're going to stop from operating on American roads. Remember this."
Okay, conspiracy theory number 2. Elon knows he'll never get full self-driving to work, so he's backing Trump to get him to ban it so that he doesn't
Not my fault.
So it's not his fault, and now he can't be prosecuted Now he can't be prosecuted by the SEC for lying about FSD because
That's
it's illegal.
fantastic. I like that
Oh
one.
yeah.
All
We
the other
can't
ones,
do it. Trump
yeah,
says no.
We just can't do it yet.
No se
all the
puede.
other ones,
But then, like,
Fred
okay,
mentioned-
do it in Canada then.
yeah, exactly. Canada's fine.
Oh my
with
god,
it.
you
Europe's
guys
fine
should
with
see
it.
the position they are in right now.
Oh no.
The guy is literally sitting his ass on his face. It's
Fred.
okay.
Fred
What
watching
now?
jujitsu.
Now these switch.
Fred's watching jujitsu in the other article or window.
Their TV.
Jiu-jitsu if you're lucky. Yeah.
What is happening? How is it 7:35? Come on.
It's fine. We're good. We're doing great.
Oh my god. I hope this doesn't start until 11 p.m. Then it's gonna end at midnight, and then I can't get my article out until like 1 in the morning.
Just start writing it now. Just start writing the most insane thing you can imagine and delete
Yeah.
the stuff that doesn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what
I
was
mean,
doing.
I just want the pictures and the specs and post that. Like, I don't even want to share what Elon is gonna say about like, oh, this thing's gonna work. Because this has been my job for the last 8 years, sharing like Elon FSD timeline that never worked, and it feels like completely useless.
I hate looking back at my old articles from like 2017 that are like, oh yeah, this thing is coming and they're going to have a full self-driving and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like saying what Tesla was saying.
Yeah.
And now it feels like I probably should have said none of this is ever going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know, Burrito. We just shared that he says there was a medical emergency there.
But I mean, here's the thing: there are events where that happens, and like that's why the ambulances are there and everything, and like it happens in the middle of events quite often.
Yeah, and normally you want to get those people out like right away.
Yeah,
like
you get them out, you put them in the ambulance, they drive off with the lights off until they get far enough away that it's not, and then you're fine.
Oh,
so that doesn't sound like that good of an excuse to me, honestly.
Sorry,
it sounds like
just won with
we could have gotten this. Yeah, we could have gotten this done. They tried to put him in the robo ambulance, and the thing just went 3 feet and stopped. And now they're trying to get it to move.
We're getting some electric ambulances here in Quebec now. Leon Electric, they do some here.
Oh, that's cool.
We just got an electric fire truck as a demo.
Ooh,
and it was cool, man.
Is it the one from Switzerland?
It's a Volvo, so it's Sweden.
Volvo is making one now. Okay.
Yeah.
Or are they taking a Volvo electric truck and converting it to?
They're taking like an FM chassis. All of those. So nobody really makes like fire trucks or ambulances. They make a chassis cab, and then there's an upfitting company that builds it out, right? So
yeah, but the one I'm referring to, the one from Switzerland is like full on, like from the ground up, fire engine, electric. We're putting on way back when, but I can find it for you.
Yeah, it's in there. It's like from 2022 or 23 or something.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah,
it's weird looking.
The boxy looking one.
Oh, I gotta find it now.
And they sold one in America too.
I think Los Angeles.
Oh, it was LA. That's right. Yeah, I remember hearing about this.
Yeah,
Arizona has one.
Yes, this time. I'm gonna share it, but
the one May 17th, 2022, first electric fire truck.
Yeah,
I don't even know if it's that one, to be honest with you.
I can't wait until my postal service van gets electrified, because every day he's out there, he starts the thing up. It stinks so dang bad. For a while, it took like 3 starts to work.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah,
so
look at
I
this
can't
thing.
wait till they switch it out.
That thing's cool.
Yeah, it's neat.
It's bad.
Rosenbauer.
I haven't heard any updates on it in LA. That's probably worth an update. See if they've been fighting fires with it.
But that's the Volvo one.
Oh, is
that?
it?
No, is it?
No, Rosenbauer builds the body. It's a Volvo chassis.
All right.
I thought it was a smaller one too. This one, the picture.
I'm like looking at it like that's the same damn thing I was just sitting next to.
Let me.
If you ever get the chance to go to this Volvo thing in Pennsylvania, like the actual production facility, they have acres and acres and acres of just dirt and rocks and trees where you can go and test out all of the construction equipment. No license, no experience. You just sign a waiver, put on a hard hat, and go wreck stuff. It's
You set one of the trees on fire and then put it out.
It didn't occur to me to try that.
Let's not do that. We're Electrek. We don't want to burn trees.
No. We're trying to we're trying to make sure this is all about keeping things safe. You gotta try that in a controlled environment. Simulated fire. You just put like red tassels on it with like a fan underneath it, so it looks like it's on fire. It'd be great.
I wouldn't be surprised if the medical emergency thing is true, but at the same time, I think they might also use it as an excuse to be late because
I think it's 100% an excuse.
I'm sure it's true. It could be both.
That's what I'm saying. It's both. Like
Well, we don't know what the medical emergency was. Like somebody had a heart attack and passed out. Like, okay, get them out of there. But like, it could be something gnarly, like the Robotaxi ran over a bus full of orphans or something. We don't know.
It wasn't going there at all.
They invited a bus of orphans to see the show. No, I think it's a large percent an excuse.
Yeah. That was always something my stepdad used to tell me was, whenever something, he's like, with your luck, whenever something bad happens, it's never going to be just you that gets hurt if you're driving your motorcycle too fast or driving a car too fast on public roads. It's not about you hurting yourself. Nobody cares. But you're going to take out a bus full of nuns or something and just your soul will never be forgiven. And it's like, okay, good. I'll go slow. Why don't you put on the jujitsu until this?
I can't. It's on UFC Fight Pass, so you have to pay for it. So it's copyrighted and everything. I can't show
even
it.
if it wasn't copyrighted.
It's only the main event left.
And it wasn't copyrighted, James. Like, no.
It's funny. I'm looking.
It's gonna do over in seconds.
There's no new tweets in the last like half an hour of anything happening like on the ground.
You would think that somebody would be like going nuts, like there's ambulances everywhere. There's a helicopter.
Yeah.
You remember the Model Y event? Like we were like just crammed like sardines, like all together and waiting. Like I think it was less than 45 minutes like it is now, but it was pretty long wait time too. It was not fun.
But this is super fun.
Edmund says, this is the survey being sent around at the We Robot Robotaxi event. Would this be the first Tesla ever to have plush ride quality? How would you describe ride comfort? So they're going to be giving out a survey to people who are riding the
Makes sense. Use it for some customer feedback.
Yeah. But, okay. Use it for customer feedback, and you're only inviting the subset of shareholders that voted to give Tesla Elon $56 billion for being a terrible CEO.
But that's what X is, though. Like that's what he has done is create these kingdoms of yes men. Yeah, these echo chamber. Did you say eco chamber?
Echo chamber. Echo. Sorry.
Yeah.
No. I'm always fascinated by like, because I always feel like you have this like exotic French accent. So like
exotic French
eco chamber. Yeah,
it is.
Don't say that to actual French people. They're gonna be upset.
Yeah. Quebecois is definitely one of the accents of all time.
Yeah, definitely one of the accents.
The first comment, or I should say the top comment on my Cybertruck review video is, if I close my eyes, I feel like Georges St-Pierre, GSP, is reviewing the Cybertruck. I'm like, oh no. To be fair, GSP,
such a good comment though.
But GSP has improved his English a lot in the last few years. So people remember him like from when he was a superstar. Well, he's still a big star, but when he was a champion and all that, his English was so bad.
We're referring to a guy who got hit in the head for a living.
Yeah, but he was good at not getting hit in the head too.
Okay, all right.
No. Even when he wasn't getting hit, like we have a very distinct accent when we speak English.
Yes,
I don't think
it
I'm
is
not the worst one for sure. Like GSP is worse, I would think. But
it is an extremely distinct action.
oh,
accent,
Joe.
for sure.
Sometimes I go to France and I talk to French people in French, which is my native tongue, and they start talking in English to me, and I'm like,
Wow.
talking in French to you right now. It's like, oh, sorry, I didn't realize. I'm like, fuck you.
That's so offensive, dude.
The French are definitely known for being extremely open to people who speak very slightly differently than them. I'm kidding. I've had nothing
Yeah.
but great experiences
No,
in France. So.
it is brutal though. Like what? Like so, I kind of left. My family was from Costa Rica, and we spoke all Spanish, right? And I think probably since I was 8 years old and really speaking English in school and stuff like that, like I just kind of stopped speaking Spanish on a regular basis. And my wife is like, Eastern European Soviet bloc. So she like yells at us in some undiscernible consonant rich language that I don't know. And so we just don't speak Spanish. And so when I go to Miami or whatever, I go to Texas and start talking to people, they're always like, oh, amazing. You're doing really well for an American trying to speak Spanish.
Yeah.
And like, that hurts me, but like, I'm so Americanized. I have to just let it go.
Yeah.
Like ice in the
use
drink,
you lose
ketchup with every
Simple as
meal.
that.
Let's go.
No, when I lived in LA for 2 years and then I came back, like my parents are like, you don't even know how to speak French anymore. Like I was like searching for words and everything. If you don't use it, you lose it.
You
Simple
lose
as
it
that.
for sure.
Well,
Like
I just walk around and
loop.
speak in a clear Southern California accent, and everyone around the world who has learned how to speak English by watching movies made by people who have the exact same accent as me.
Yeah.
Nicely done. Very convenient.
They're like, oh, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, a lot of people are talking about canceling right now. Like Kari says, cancel. What are the odds of this event getting canceled? Event is canceled. Like the man child.
Yikes.
Down. Is this actually happening? A lot of people are not convinced this is actually happening. I think it will happen, but
I just sit in chat. They're waiting until FSD is ready to start the event. After that. It'll be just next year, guys. It'll start next year. By the end of next year.
The main event is about to start, and I bet you that this fight is over before this starts.
Okay, all right.
Even though it's like
how long is an MMA fight? Usually 20 minutes.
Well, it's gonna be over pretty. It's not MMA, it's jiu-jitsu. And it's Nikki Rodriguez, which machine, so he's probably gonna be.
I don't even know the difference between jiu-jitsu and MMA.
There's no striking, so no one gets hit in the head here.
It's
just submission, just strangulation and asphyxiation.
Jeez. All right.
Or joint locks and whatnot. This event is a yawner, says David Grendel. Yeah, I mean, no shit.
Yeah, it is. This is longer than they usually. We were joking about Elon time, but this is much more than we thought it would be.
We should have started this watch party at 10, like in anticipate this whole delay.
Yeah.
So now I've been live with Jamie for like an hour and 18 minutes now in the window.
Just think of this as like it's nostalgia, right? We're watching an Enya CD play out on Windows 95 visualizer. It's great.
We gotta wait for the entire 45. Well, actually, it's already been longer than that. Actually, aren't some Enya songs like about 45 minutes long? Maybe that's what it is.
Probably.
Jacob Favreau says, wait, Canadians just want one Canadian, not plural. Oh, we have some French Canadian in the room here. Then we had Dan. Dan is a regular on the Electrek podcast. Yeah, while we're here, people, like you see the quick charge Electrek behind Joe right now. This is the Electrek channel, but we have a smaller channel where we post almost daily, which is the Quick Charge Electrek Daily channel run by Joe Boras, who's summarized all the best article of the day at Electrek to give you the news. So it's a quick and easy way, and you get the audio version too. So if you can just want to listen to it quickly in the car, or you want to pull out the YouTube, Facebook, whatever you're watching.
Yeah.
X.
I feel
Do you
like the
post on
audio
X?
version. Do I post on X? It posts automatically. I don't post.
Yeah.
So
Everything's everywhere.
it seems like in the last 15 minutes, Elon has tweeted about immigration, posting on a Daily Mail headline, which is not a real news source, I must say. Has complained about Howard Stern, and is also talking about flat earthers.
In a positive,
positive or negative way?
Like he
well,
knows how Starlink works, right? Or does he think it just goes around like a it's like the Indy
He's
500.
he's mad at flat earthers because it denies its entire SpaceX business.
Yeah. Oh, he says he can't get on stage because he's helping out someone in the crowd.
Oh, good. He'll use his
Elon
advanced
himself.
medical training.
Elon himself is doing it, surely.
Yeah, now
he's injecting ivermectin into the person in the crowd.
I mean, now that he says that, I have more doubt that this is actually real. Why would Elon's help be needed for that? Like, just
why would Elon?
We need a medical professional. Like,
exactly. I liked the there used to be a neighbor of mine that had the the yellow the "Don't Tread on Me" flag with the snake, and it underneath the snake, instead of "Don't tread on me," it said "Let me take horse pills."
Yeah, exactly.
That was the best. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's just been. I mean, the last like 6 things he's posted are not related at all.
He has like a real, and I say this like without judgment. Like, I'm not trying to pick on the guy. I say this like as one human being to another in a world that is hard for everybody to make it through in one piece, right? Like, he has a real addiction to the social media, and like it's really screwing with his brain, I think.
146 tweets a day last count.
Yeah.
That's like 140 too many.
Yeah. By the way, the flat Earth post that he made, he was replying to his alt account, Fred.
Yeah. I have doubts that it's his alt account. You're talking about Dittman,
Adrian Dittman.
That guy hates me too. Like, I was on a space with him at one point, and like, because
so you have talked to Elon directly.
Yeah, but I mean, I said something like, I don't think you're Elon, but I think you might be.
Yeah,
we were early on in a past life of mine, in another outlet I used to write for. Our senior editor was on a stage early on with Elon Musk, and I mean like pre-Model S days, like a long time ago. And I remember the mic was still on, and he, just as he was getting off the stage, he goes, "God, that guy's an idiot." Like, it got recorded, and that was like my favorite moment so far.
What event was that? Wait, Elon said that, or someone else said that about him?
His editor said that about Elon.
Someone else said that about Elon. It was like leaders in fuel economy, and it was like, I don't know, 2009, maybe 2010 era. I can probably find it.
Oh, it just said something.
Certain statements.
Okay.
It's forward-looking statement, boilerplate stuff.
Yeah,
risk
normal.
factor, 10Q. Yeah. All right, let's boost the sound a little bit.
Let's go, baby.
So just short of an hour late, not too bad.
That's fine. And we had a medical emergency. We're doing okay. Let's hope everybody's doing okay. Oh, we got some clapping people. That's good.
Franz on stage.
Here, everywhere, online, around the world, outer space. I'm Franz. And on behalf of everybody at Tesla, welcome to We Robot. Just want to thank Warner Brothers for hosting us here. As you know, this is the birthplace of many epic films, many of them depicting a vision of the future. We're here tonight to experience that future that is closer than you think.
At the end of next year.
2 weeks.
And who better than Elon, right, to show us that future?
A lot of people.
So it looks like Elon's on his way. So let's welcome him up here.
There's gonna be a special entrance.
Okay.
Let's go.
He's flying in on a roadster. I told you.
No.
It's
That's
like
a
a
Cybertruck.
Cybertruck bar.
Is it? Looks low.
No, it's a Cybercab.
Okay. Oh, looks a little bit like an Ioniq 6.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a dude in a suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a SpaceX suit.
Okay. It looks, I think, a little bit better than the
Butterfly door. Not
looks
covered
nice.
wheel, but full.
Full covered tire, yeah.
Yeah.
No
good.
rear window. Look at that. Very
Yeah.
Polestar. Okay.
And there's no one in the driver's seat, I assume.
No.
No LiDAR bump, I don't think.
No.
It's an Optimus in the driver's seat.
Actually, the camera's integration are pretty smooth.
Yeah. No, the shut lines on that, the panel gaps are actually really good.
No, it looks like the lightning, like that solar core from back in the day. It reminds me of that.
Yeah. It actually looks really good.
Yeah. Oh, looks weird there.
It's working.
The front end does look a little bit like an Ioniq 6 to me.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that projector is going to be... It looks like it's got those matrix lights. Matrix headlights. Maybe, possibly.
People are like going crazy for this right now. It's like it's doing everything that FSD's been doing for a while. Like it's not. Oh, this is pretty cool. This is the Matrix light doing that.
That's interesting, fitting the matrix lights into a light bar like that.
Mm-hmm. John.
Welcome to the Wii Robot Party. So we have quite a show for you tonight. I think you're gonna like it. As you can see, I just arrived in the Robotaxi, the Cybercab.
Both
Cybercab's
names.
gonna be the name.
They haven't decided on the name.
There's 20 more where that came from.
There's 20 at the event.
So they've been traveling. There's no people in them, as you can see. The car's just going by with no people. And we have 50 fully autonomous cars here tonight.
50. So you said 20.
So you'll see
20 Robocabs, 50 autonomous cars.
the Cyber
Oh.
cab,
Oh.
all driverless. You'll be able to take a ride in the Cyber cab. There's no steering wheel or pedals. So I hope this goes well. We'll find out.
He's not kidding.
Yeah, he's not.
So
He did break the windows last time he tried to do a demo.
you see a lot of sci-fi movies where the future is dark, dismal, where it's not a future you want to be in. So, like, I love Blade Runner, but I don't know if we want that future. I think we want that duster he's wearing, but not the bleak apocalypse. We want to have a fun, exciting future that if you could look in a crystal ball and see the future, you'd be like, yes, I wish I could be there now. That's what we want. So when we think about transport today, there's a lot of kind of pain that we take for granted that we think is normal. Like having to drive around LA in like 3 hours of traffic.
I mean, that seems more like a
people over
zoning
to
issue
LA,
than a mobility
trying to get
issue.
From
Yeah.
Pasadena to, El Segundo.
This is
during
not
rush
going to
hours,
replace mass
you
transit.
could
Like,
fly
I
to,
don't know why you insist on that.
another city faster.
He just wants the government funding for the mass transit.
And you have to drive the whole way. Unless you're in a Tesla, of course.
There's
Tesla
a lot of that to go
does
around,
quite
right?
well at this,
We need it for
supervised
mass transit.
self-driving. So supervised full self-driving is actually working quite well. I'm sure there's people in the crowd, you're using that, yeah? So we'll move from supervised full self-driving to unsupervised full self-driving, where the car, you could fall asleep and wake up at your destination. So, but there's also a challenge for a lot of people that cars cost too much. Right? When you factor in everything that goes into a car and the car insurance, and the car payments, and the storage of the car, it's very expensive. So with and you say like how many hours a week are cars used? Your average passenger car is only used about 10 hours a week out of 168 hours. So the vast majority of the time, cars are just doing nothing. But if they're autonomous, they could be used, I don't know, 5 times more, maybe 10 times more. So you could actually, for the same car, would have 5 times as much value, maybe 10 times as much value. There's 168 hours in the week, and like I said, only 10 of them are used for driving. So and then a bunch of those hours are looking for a parking spot, which is, can be pretty annoying at times. So we want, with autonomy, you get your time back. This is a very big deal. So it's not just it'll save lives, like a lot of lives, and prevent injuries. I think we'll see autonomous cars become 10 times safer than a human. I mean, if you think of times past where there used to be an elevator operator in every elevator, but
so far it's
they get tired.
all things you said before.
Nothing new. Yeah,
tear somebody in half.
I think it's interesting how he is very quick to point out that you can get 10 times more use out of the vehicle, but doesn't talk about that just means you have to do 10 times as much maintenance and 10 times as much replacement and tires and everything else, right?
That's how cars will be.
Yeah.
And it's not just the lives saved in injuries, but if you think about the cumulative time that people spend in a car and the time that they will get back, that they can now spend, well, I guess on their phones or watching a movie or doing work or whatever you want to do. You can think of the car in an autonomous world as being like just a little lounge. You're just sitting in a comfortable little lounge, and you can do whatever you want while you're in this comfortable little lounge. And when you get out, you will be at your destination. So, yeah, that's going to be awesome. So,
actual data, specs.
Yeah, tell us something new.
In fact, I think the cost of autonomous transport will be so low that you can think of it like individualized mass transit. The average cost of a bus per mile for a city, not the ticket price because that is subsidized, but the average price is about $1 a mile. Whereas the cost of cybercab, we think probably over time, the operating cost is probably going to be around 20 cents a mile.
20 cents a mile?
And pricing.
Yeah, but it's 20 cents a mile for 2 people instead of a bus that holds 80 people.
That's it.
So yes, and you will be able to buy one.
Dumb.
You'll be able to buy one, he said.
Yes, exactly.
We can supposedly already buy a full self-driving car from Tesla.
We expect the cost to be below $30,000.
Below 30,000.
Okay, all right.
And I think there'll be an interesting,
pretty impressive,
business model where, like,
but
somebody's in
the Cybertruck was going to be $40K.
Where they can actually sort of manage a fleet of cars, and sort of manage, I don't know, 10, 20 cars, and just sort of take care of them like a shepherd tends their flock. You have your flock of cars, and you're the shepherd, and you take care of your flock of cars. I think that'd be pretty.
This is a person who did not have meaningful relationships with real humans for a long time.
This is like gig economy stuff he's talking about.
So bizarre.
Yes, good, all excellent questions.
Well, we can't call them weird because then we get
will it be available?
Yeah.
We do expect actually to start fully autonomous.
Here it is.
Unsupervised FSD.
Play Freebird. Play Freebird.
Texas and California next year.
Texas and California next year.
He said next year.
He said FSD, right?
And
Yeah.
that's obviously that's with the Model 3 and Model Y.
Model 3 or Y.
And then we expect to be in production with the Cybercab, which is really highly optimized for autonomous transport. In probably, well, I tend to be a little optimistic with timeframes, but in 2026.
Oh, so later than
2 years.
you said.
Before 2027. Let me put it
I like how he said it's highly
Cool.
optimized
Before
for autonomous
2027.
use. Yeah,
and,
it's
we'll
highly
be
optimized, but it has no steering wheel or
Steering wheel
pedals.
pedals.
does
well
it?
before that.
Yeah, it doesn't work
you'll
without it.
Experience a robotic taxi via the Model 3 and Model Y program, and Model S and X too. But the model, your 3 and Y will achieve unsupervised full self-driving with permission in wherever regulators essentially approve it in the U.S. and then to follow in outside the U.S. So and
Show some
Cybertruck
data
yes, of course,
to-
sorry, I don't want to get
No.
make us
full on
believe that,
cars,
because
obviously.
That just goes along with my conspiracy theory
we
that
make-
where it's legal, where it's allowed, we're gonna
Yeah.
disallow it.
Let's not get nuanced here. All right, next slide.
Did he say let's not get nuanced?
That's what he
Yeah.
said.
So
That's-
one of the reasons
that's what we
why
want.
the computer can be so much better than a person is that we have millions of cars that are training on driving. So
Yeah.
it's like
This is
That was a
Tesla's-
surround, I think.
millions of lives simultaneously and seeing
That they
very
almost ran over.
unusual situations that a person in their entire lifetime would not see. But
I love how he
Hopefully,
says that like
um,
the other car makers don't also have millions of miles of data.
No, Tesla definitely has the
So-
advantage on this.
Yeah, on that a little
so
bit.
with that amount of training data, it's obviously going to be much better than what a human could be, because you can't live a million lives. And it's also, it can see in all directions simultaneously, and it doesn't get tired or text or any of those things. So it will naturally be, like you said, 10, 20, 30 times safer than a human. Just for all those
When,
reasons.
like, it's not happening right
And
now.
I want to emphasize that the solution that we have is AI and vision. So there's no expensive equipment needed. So
Okay.
the Model 3 and Model Y and S and X that we make today will be capable of full autonomy unsupervised. And that means that our cost of producing
That's
the vehicle
interesting.
is low.
that he's still
Now,
saying
we
that now.
are going to actually overspec.
We're producing
the
today.
Computer for the Cybercab. So our AI5 computer
Okay, so it's AI5, hardware
will be
5.
somewhat overspec. And
Overspeccing, okay.
Actually, also an opportunity, sort of like an Amazon Web Services, where if the car's driving for 50 hours a week,
This is
there's
silly.
still over 100 hours
Yeah.
left. And
Yeah, this is silly.
there's a potential there to have a massive amount of distributed inference compute, where if you've got
No
like,
one's
say, a
going to do
fleet of
that.
100 million
It's not going to be a
vehicles
meaningful
and a
value add.
kilowatt of efficient inference compute, you have 100 gigawatts of compute, which is really quite substantial. And if it's there, you might as well use it. So, yeah, so that I think will make sense. So
There needs to be some one more thing,
so our
because
autonomous future is here.
good luck
Mhm.
to Tesla shareholders
We're
tomorrow,
working with
otherwise.
Tesla's driving autonomously.
Nothing new yet, yeah.
We're trying to give you a sense of what cities will be like in the future.
It looks good.
And
Yeah, it
when
doesn't
you-
look bad,
when you get
but
in, you'll see like it's really quite a wild experience to just be in a car.
It's too bad it
No
doesn't have a
steering
wheel and
pedals,
pedals, because like
controls.
it could be a fun little sporty
and it
coupe.
feels great.
Yes.
yeah.
Um,
Now that's what's
so-
Model 2.
And we have
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
the
Model
would
2
buy
is
it.
supposed
Yeah.
to be
right out
5-seater, but
and experience the set that we built here. It's a very big set.
They
so it's
build
like
the set.
really- we've
It's Warner
used
Brothers.
I don't know, 20, 30 acres or something like that. It's really big. So it goes on. The ride's long. And we set it up. We set it up to feel like a ride, like a park ride. So it'll be cool, and you'll get to experience it tonight. Something we're also doing is, and it's really high time we did this, is inductive charging.
Okay.
So the Robotaxi has
What?
no plug. It just goes over the inductive
Uh,
charger. and
automated
not-
maintenance too.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of how it should be.
Well, that's cool.
He's so bad at explaining what they're
Thanks,
showing.
Max. I love you too. So one of the things that like is really interesting is how will this affect the cities that we live in? And when you drive around a city, or when the car drives you around a city, you'll see there's a lot of parking lots. There's parking lots everywhere, parking garages. And so what would happen if you have an autonomous world is that you can now turn parking lots into parks. And so we're taking the ing lot out of parking lot.
Okay.
Welcome.
Everyone know how cool a future with self-driving car
So
is. Like,
there's a lot of opportunity.
we want to
create,
see how you're going to make it happen, because it's not happening in Hardware 3. It's not happening in Hardware 4. Now
I
we
don't
need
know if
to-
that's really fair.
Oh,
I think
here's
Oh,
what is this?
that's the cyber
the
toaster.
Robovan. That looks weird as fuck. Oh boy.
So that would be quite fantastic. Oh, and also, what happens if you need a vehicle that is bigger than a Model Y?
I don't know about that one, guys.
The Robovan. The
What?
Robovan is
Robovan?
this is we're
Robovan.
going to make this, and it's going to look like that.
Van? It's
Now,
van.
can
No?
you imagine going
It's
down the streets and you
Robovan, but
see
he's
this coming
reading it
towards you?
Robovan.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
I wonder if he's
And
actually.
he just said the words, "That'd be sick."
So this can carry up to 20 people, and it can also transport goods. So you can configure it for goods transport within a city, or transport of up to 20 people at a time. So this is gonna, the Robovan is what's gonna solve for high
Why is he
density.
saying it that way?
What?
If you
He's
want to
a
take a sports team somewhere,
Very
or,
strange
you're
person.
looking to really get the cost of travel down to, I don't know, 5-10 cents a mile, then you can.
Oh, okay.
use
He's
the
talking per
Robovan.
people then.
Some people call it the Robovan, but so yeah. One of the things that we want to do, and we've seen this with the Cybertruck, is we want to change the look of the roads. The future should look like the future.
This, in terms of look, though, this one I'm not sold on. I like the Cybercab look, but this is, well,
I like
this,
it more.
I think it's like,
So,
I like it in
the
concept
movie I,
because
Robot. It
it's-
looks like that.
Yeah, it does.
speaking of robots,
But I want more dense transportation than two-seaters, so I like
everything
that.
we've developed for
Yeah.
our cars, the batteries, power electronics, the advanced motors, gearboxes, the software, the AI inference computer, it all actually applies to a humanoid robot. It's the same techniques. It's just a robot with arms and legs instead of a robot with wheels.
Oh, looks like they have a bunch of them.
And we've made
Yep.
a lot of progress with Optimus.
They're walking slow as hell,
And
though.
as you can see, we started up with someone in a robot suit, sort of down, and then we've progressed dramatically year after year.
They
Did you
walk
say
a lot better
So
than
if you
Asimo did.
extrapolate this,
Dramatically.
Yeah.
we're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
have something
Yeah, they have some
spectacular,
hip motions going.
something that anyone could own.
Are we sure he said dramatically
So
and
you
not
can have
traumatically?
Your own personal
His
R2D2
accent is
C3PO.
so weird.
It's fine.
I don't know, man. I'm still reeling from
At
Robovan.
scale,
Yeah.
this would cost something like, I don't know, $20,000-$30,000. Probably
Mm.
less than a car.
At scale.
Is my prediction long term. Now, it'll take us a minute to get to the long term, but
Looks like it's walking faster in that video.
the Optimus
I
robot.
think
you
this
should be able
video is
to
CGI.
Buy an Optimus robot for, I think, probably $20,000 to $30,000 long term.
But why is he show that like
and
this?
What's going to do? It'll be able to do anything you want. So it can be a teacher.
No, I think this is a real video.
You can walk your dog, mow your lawn, get the groceries. Just be your.
But how
friend,
about
serve
like
drinks.
manufacturing and all that? That would be
Um,
more useful. I think.
Whatever you can think of, it will do. And yeah, it's going to be awesome.
I mean, I think he's
this
saying
will
it
be
right there. It's a humanoid
the biggest
friend,
product ever
right?
of
Like
any
that's
kind.
what we're trying to build here.
Yeah. Because I think everyone of the 8 billion people of Earth, I think everyone's going to want their Optimus buddy, and there's going to be maybe 2, and then they'll be producing products and services. I predict, actually, provided we address risks of digital superintelligence, 80% probability of good outcome. Look on the bright side. The cup is 80% full. The cost of products and services will decline dramatically, and basically anyone will be able to have any products and services they want. It will be an age of abundance, the likes of which people have almost no one has envisioned. It'll be something special. So,
Okay.
now one of the things
You're selling us utopia.
Tonight
Sounds like socialism to me.
that Optimus is not a canned video. It's not walled off. The Optimus robots will walk among you. Please be nice to the Optimus robots. So you'll be able to walk right up to them, and they'll serve drinks at the bar.
Which they're not doing yet,
And
according to Twitter.
You'll directly, I mean, that's just, it's a wild experience just to have humanoid robots, and they're there, just in front of you. So yeah, with that, let's party.
Oh, that's it.
That's it? He's so bad at presentations. How is he so bad? Everyone talks about him being
Well, you guys
charismatic,
do.
but
If you look at that gazebo over there, let's get the party started.
They're gonna dance.
okay, fine.
Oh Lord.
So
Lord, help us all.
didn't they tell us that there would be something that nobody had envisioned yet?
Yeah. So far, it's like pretty much exactly what we predicted. Like,
Literally every single thing that we talked
like
about.
the post I did yesterday about the rumors, like 2-seater, butterfly wing doors, Robovan.
It looks exactly like the concept drawing.
Optimus robot update. I don't know what Joe Jebbia is his name, I think. I don't know what he was talking about.
I mean, I think it looks better. The final product looks better than the one sort of side shot that we had for the concept photo. I think it looks really good.
Yeah, it does look good.
I'm glad they're talking about the Robovan because it is higher density. Like what you were talking about, Joe, just a minute ago, is that the 2-seater is not going to be able to move as many people as the 80-person bus, but a 20-person bus, that's pretty good. So
I totally agree with
I like that. It does look maybe a little bit too much leaning into the future look on the Robovan.
Yeah, but think of it like the Cybertruck. In 6 years, when that thing goes into production, we'll be so used to it, it won't even matter.
I'm not used to the Cybertruck. I'm never getting used to the Cybertruck. I said it day one, and it's true.
So what's my headline here for the Cybercab? Tesla unveils Cybercab at $30,000 electric robotaxi coming in the next 2 years.
Well, they said before 27 we'll have the
2026.
Yeah.
2027.
Well, at first he said before 2026, and then he said, well, okay, maybe before 2027 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the you can own it is the only part that's
kind of unexpected.
Interesting. Yeah, because yeah, true. Not unexpected, but also not completely expected, because I thought there was a chance that they would say that we're not going to sell these, because that's the thing. Remember, Elon said years ago that we're going to stop selling cars at consumer pricing anyway.
Right.
We're going to stop selling cars once we solve full self-driving, because it's going to be more profitable for us to keep them and just run a taxi fleet and make tons of money all the time. So that's what they said. And so you can own this is an interesting change of that. That said, this conversation that we're having right now is the exact same conversation that we already had in 2016 or whenever he first started talking about all this stuff, except it's just a different looking car that doesn't have pedals in it.
I just have to say,
I think,
yeah,
go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
No, I don't mean to be like this cynical guy, but like, I just feel like if you were going to take like the most socially awkward mid 80s movie kid, like with, just like picture anyone from Revenge of the Nerds or like Short Round from Indiana Jones and gave him $200 billion. This is exactly what he'd come up with. He'd come up with a robot buddy that like will be your friend. Yeah, the robot buddy that'll be your friend, the car of the future that'll drive around in and look like a dustbuster. And like I just feel horrible saying that because like I don't think of myself as this like, super judgmental guy, but like when you sit there and you're on the stage talking about, man, I really wish I could wear a full-length duster and hang out with my robot friend. Like in the context of owning a social media platform that gets all upset when someone calls him weird, like this is par for the course. Like this is exactly what I would expect.
I'm not mad at that though. Like
no, not at all.
Yeah, it's the future he wants, and a lot of people want that future. Like that's cool. My main issue, like, so that's what, like, my main takeaway about this whole event is like I wanted to know exactly what was the plan between FSD currently in existing car and this new Cybercab. Now it looks pretty clear to me, and I think correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like, all right, Cybercab is using hardware 5, II5, whatever you want to call it, which is just an iteration of the current hardware. And the plan is still very much to deliver unsupervised self-driving on existing vehicles. You didn't differentiate hardware 3 and hardware 4 though, but whatever. So that's still the plan, and he thinks it's going to happen next year in Texas and California. I think he's fooling himself unless there's some giant changes in the next few months, because what we see for the current FSD program getting, less than 200 miles between intervention, but critical intervention. So, but I think that's the main takeaway here. Cybercab is a new vehicle, no pedals, no steering wheel, R5, still FSD. No change on that. Optimus is a little better. We see Optimus now getting a drink.
Yeah, looks pretty good.
Yeah, dexterity looks good. Oh, he changed it a little bit too fast. I don't know what's the interface though, because he didn't say you can go up to them and talk to them or anything like that. Like, can you talk to them?
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know if people are just all getting the same drink or pressing a button or something like that.
Yeah. Or there was the woman in front at the phone, so maybe you have an app you can order the drink.
Maybe you have an app. It does look, I mean, it's a well executed thing. You're getting in the thing, it's going around, it's doing the thing. You've got the robots there. I think you got to give him credit. This is a cool vehicle. Like I think that this is a solid presentation of like, if you were at Epcot Center and you went to like Future World and it looked like this, you'd be like, yeah, okay, this is kind of cool. It's futurific.
You mentioned that, but if you go to Disneyland, Tomorrowland still has the People Mover, and basically it's the Robovan, only on monorail. And
this guy is talking to Robo.
Yeah, this guy's talking to it. He's waving. It's waving back at him.
I thought he was like,
no.
It's moving very natural. I like how it moves, though.
It's good. Do you think that this is going to... Go ahead.
Yeah, so Retro says, did Elon mention where the Cybercab is going to be manufactured? He did not, as far as I could tell in the publication, but we know that Tesla is currently building an unboxed platform production line in Gigafactory, Texas, in Austin. And the Cybercab, not the Robotaxi, not called Cybercab, is the only vehicle that's going to be built there. He's doing the devil sign. Is the AI the son of Satan?
Do you think that this is similar to what happened with Hyperloop? Do you think that this is going to siphon funds away from more conventional or more traditional urban transit projects like light rail or even electrified buses and things like that. Like
that's what the Boring Company is doing. It's trying to take over some contracts for public transit. But to be honest, I'm not. If it's the Robovan with like higher volume transit in it, I'm not mad at it. Like if the economics
there's a total place for it. Like if you look at small municipalities, suburbs that want to have a shuttle service, small towns that can't make the case for an 80 or 85 passenger bus, there's a total place for this thing.
Yeah. I mean, we already have the small school buses in that format.
Yeah.
Like that's fine. That makes sense.
Yeah, I saw someone in the comments mention Zooks.
Bus, though. Yeah, Zooks.
Yeah, it looks similar to the Zooks thing.
Yeah, Zooks is small though. I think this is the right size, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone is taking selfies with Optimus.
I'm fine with the van. I think they could maybe tone it down a little bit.
Yeah, it looks weird on the outside.
In concept, I like it. Well, the other thing is they're not going to be able to have a 1-inch ground clearance or whatever it has in that.
Yeah. I mean, unless they want to do it just for inside the Boring Company tunnels or something like that. Maybe it was the thing that was designed for that. I know Bastien was in the chat right now. I saw him and he mentioned that this looks like the prototype that was leaked a few years ago when we saw like a very early prototype from the inside. He's right, it looks similar.
I think the prototype from a few years ago seemed much smaller than that though, and also more glassy on the sides, like more.
It was very early. It was like mostly the inside that we saw and everything. Like,
what do we think is under that big rear hatch that has no glass? You think that's cargo space?
It has to be. Like he's talking about like bringing people to the airport, using that to bring people to the airport. And I think you're gonna have to have.
Yeah, you'd need to have a trunk for sure, because otherwise you're just bringing yourself and nothing else.
Yeah, it's already like not great that it's just a 2-seater. So it better be a 2-seater with plenty of luggage space.
The 2-seat thing, because I'm thinking, when do I use a cab? It's when I've driven to a bar with a bunch of friends and people want to get home because they've been drinking. And usually 2 is not enough. And I know that because I have a 2-seat car. And when I'm the designated driver, I can bring one person, which is not a lot of people.
What are we looking at right now?
One drunk
We're looking. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's like a disembodied robo hand. That's like the Addams Family guy.
Yeah, it's coming out of what? Like nothing.
Yeah, I don't even know what it's attached to.
I kind of like that.
I like that they're keeping it live and showing like stuff that's going on, so we can kind of just see what's happening.
I like this a lot better than like people talking to me about stuff.
Oh, here's an autonomous Model Y.
Yeah.
Sorry, 3.
Oh, yes.
Tom says no mention of Model 2. Is the 20 car dead? It's been dead for a while, Tom. We reported Elon killed the program in favor of the Robotaxi very early this year.
Yeah. Well, I think the Tesla fans didn't believe it.
Yeah, there's still 2 other vehicles coming, but they're based on Model 3 and Model Y. People thought it might be the one more thing today, but there was no one more thing today. It was all autonomy.
No,
so he stayed on topic. But what do we think about this stock tomorrow? Does it react badly or positively?
There was nothing new. You know, I think that people will be appointed by this, not disappointed, but everyone will have seen it and been like, "Oh, that's what I thought I was going to see."
Yeah,
I gotta tell you, I didn't think it was going to be a desirable vehicle, and like I kind of want one.
It looks great. It looks
really, so good,
really good.
Yeah, the only thing that's like good for Tesla value is like if they can make that thing for $30,000 or less, it's a good look on being able to make an electric vehicle with, I would assume, over 200 miles of range for $30,000 or less. Now the thing is like Tesla's prices announced versus delivered lately. And the only example we have is the Cybertruck that didn't pan out in terms of pricing. So I don't know how much we can believe that. And then the second thing is like this thing is only valuable if you do figure out self-driving, which we have no certainty that this is going to be able to do. So remove the AI5 computer in there and put a steering wheel and some pedals and sell that thing for $30,000. People are going to buy it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And, it's about also what's going to be available first. Like if they say they can make this by the end of next year, level 5 autonomy will not be done by the end of next year. It's just not going to happen.
No.
Elon can say it as many times as he wants. We're not getting level 5 autonomy. We're not having a car that can drive itself with nobody in it by the end of next year without a steering wheel anywhere. That's crazy. It's not even he says California and Texas, like even if you mapped individual spots of California and Texas, maybe like possibly
that would be a Waymo approach though.
Exactly. If they had a Waymo coverage area that they individually mapped, I could see that happening by the end of next year, even with vision only, which is going to be less sensor data than what Waymo has. But why are you making a car that you can only sell to people in LA that when they say the car is going to be ready by the end of next year? So when they could have made a car that could be ready by the end of next year and everyone would want to buy it. If you had that car, I mean, it's a 2-seater, so no, but you'd have to have 4 seats. But if you had that car that looks like that and it costs 30 grand and it's electric, everyone's buying that thing. And they're not just buying it in LA, they're buying it around the country, you know?
Right. And you can plug it into a
sounds
supercharger. It doesn't make a ton of sense.
It sounds like they are confident that the Unbox platform can deliver a $30,000 electric vehicle. That's what I'm getting from that. And also
That's what I'm getting from that.
Yeah, it can do it with AI too, having some kind of full self-driving capability. Look at that's
That
a
robot's
Tesla
doing
employee
the
in the back.
Macarena.
It looks like to be like he's protecting the robot. What?
Oh yeah, they've got employees around making sure people don't knock the robots over or whatever.
Yeah. Every consumer humanoid comes with one
One human
Guatemalan to
one
stand
human
behind it.
babysitter.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I gotta say, honestly, like I expected it to be much, much worse.
Oh
I mean,
yeah. Oh boy.
As far as it having like there was no real information, expected that. There was nothing new. I expected that. Crazy promises that don't make any sense. We're going to go from level 2 to level 5, perfect self-driving, 10 times better than any human. Yeah, I expected that nonsense too. But like, I didn't expect the Optimus to look at all decent, and it looks pretty convincing. And
Did you see the last update on it? Because the last update was pretty good too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not that shocked by that. I think it does look like they made some improvement over the last 6 months or so, but the last update already showed some.
I'll be honest with you. I thought the last update was fake.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong about that. I might even still be right about that. And this looks impressive.
There might be another
the
guy.
Dexterity, the movement.
There might
fast.
be someone in a room over there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it might still be remote control.
One of those
can you
mocap
stop
suits?
just waving at it? Like, it's.
Yeah.
I want to see it do something useful.
Well,
like, just,
I think maybe it's been taught to wave and to hand bags over.
Yeah, but that's
I would instantly wave at it if I was there. Come
on.
But
like, if you pull out your phone and take a selfie, it starts doing a pose or something. So it's pretty cool.
That'd be cool. Or if you like, well, I don't know if you. I guess one of the other ones you could stand next to it and like it would put his arm around your shoulder or something like that. I don't know. That'd be cool.
I wish they would. Okay, so I'm going to make an assumption here. I'm not saying that this is what's happening. I'm just saying if this is remote operation, I wish that they would like play that up, because I think there's plenty of situations where you have hazardous situations.
Yeah.
You have people doing trenching work. You have people doing undersea welding. You have people doing all kinds coal mining. There's all kinds of scenarios where you would rather have a remote operated, vehicle.
Yeah.
And you see that in the construction and demolition field where
for sure.
It's a very simple robot where it's basically
that would be
one
cool.
articulated arm. That'd be great if they came out and said, look, we're working on AI, but until then, we've got just an awesome remote interface. That would be fantastic. Like,
I don't think that's what it is, though. I think it's just, I mean, I was joking around when I was saying there's a guy in another room with a mocap suit on. I think it's just been taught to do a couple of things.
Though.
I like the point of the remote control though for the car, because right before the event, Kyle Vaught, who's the founder of Cruise, did like share his thoughts about Tesla achieving full self-driving capabilities, and he listed 14 points that he says that Tesla needs to achieve in order to actually deliver a true full self-driving system commercially, like Cruise has done in the past. It didn't go too well, but like Waymo has been doing a little bit more successfully. And he says getting stuck is one of them. And he said, is there a method for remote operator to relocate unoccupied vehicles that are blocking traffic or emergency vehicles? So Cruise and Waymo have the remote control capabilities, and they can unstuck a car if something happened.
Although Waymo is a little bit sketchy when you ask them about that, like, because they don't like to admit that they have people. Now they don't supposedly they don't have remote drivers, but they do have people who can answer questions for the car. So what'll happen is the car is confused and says, do I go right or left? And then the remote guy says you should go right or something like that. And then if it decides to do that on its own. But they're still a little sketchy when they talk about how much remote control there is. So
that's so funny because you talk to the guys at Caterpillar or at John Deere, and they are so open about that. They're like, yeah, you can have one guy operating 3 haul trucks on a mining operation. You can have one guy operating 5 tractors.
But they're selling different dreams. The Caterpillar guys are selling to people who are doing this thing, whereas Elon is selling the future. You know what I mean? And that's a different thing that you're going to sell there.
I think that's probably right. He's selling a dream rather than a. I don't want to say he's not selling a product, because I think that discounts what he does. I mean, let's face it. None of us would be here talking about electric vehicles for money without Elon, right? So we got to at least give credit where credit is due, that he's selling the vision. Absolutely. He's been very good at selling the vision. But like, you know, you can't sell a Tesla semi to fleet operators who are buying things based on spreadsheets and pivot tables with something like this.
Yeah. Oh, the fact that you mentioned Tesla semi, there was also reports that Elon was expected to talk about full self-driving capability on Tesla semi.
Yeah.
Did I miss it, or you did not?
No, he didn't say anything at all. Yeah. And that's interesting because that is something that autonomy would be a huge deal on, but also something where, remember in the original Tesla semi event, I think that he was deliberately vague
not talking
about how, like they were talking about, you know, autopilot will help because it'll help keep drivers safe and all that kind of stuff. But they never
it was 2017 to the original unveiling too.
But he had already been talking about self-driving for a long
years.
Time. So it would have been real easy to say we're going to get rid of the driver. But if he had said that right out, and that's it. Every truck driver already knows that that's what Tesla means when they talk about autopilot. But if he had said that right out, I think there would have been a lot of backlash from, you know, truck driver is one of the most common jobs in America. And if we tell people that, you know, however many 5 million people are going to be out of a job or whatever, there's going to be a lot of angry people out there. So I think there's maybe a deliberate strategy for Tesla not to talk about FSD on trucks until like they know they can do it that day, you know.
But at the same time, like even if you get FSD right now to a truck, like you still need a truck driver. It's just an assist feature. Like truck drivers mainly drive, but they do a little bit more than driving too. They manage their loads. They have like the managed relationship between the dock workers and like the distributors and all that. Like there's a little bit of things that it's not just driving that they handle. So I think it would be a transitional period. But yeah, of course, I think you're right in the sense that Elon is being careful with that, because the people he's trying to sell these trucks to, even though I know you're not necessarily selling to a truck driver, you're selling to a trucking company.
Well, that's the interesting thing in America. Most trucks are owner operated.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So there aren't a lot of there actually isn't anyone to sell. You would sell to trucking companies, and that's fine. But most trucks are operated by the owner.
It's most. I know it was a large percentage, but I don't know.
Isn't it, Joe, do you know the rough numbers on that? I'm pretty sure it's most.
Well, we can
so that has become less common as those is going up. But I think it might still be a majority. I actually haven't looked in a while.
It's I mean, you know, it depends on which subset you're talking about, but I think the long haul ones, more
fair enough,
operators than the non long haul ones.
So, but keep in mind the Class 8 market also goes to terminal tractors and things like that are not over the road semi trucks. I think you're right about that. I think it's probably today probably close to 50-50 for over the road semi truck type drivers or road legal semis. But I think if you take that out of it and you look at like the Class 8 garbage trucks and haul trucks and things like that, I think it's probably closer to like 1 in 5.
Sure. Yeah. If you're counting those ones, then I mean, everything, everything's going to be in a fleet if it's a.
Should we explore the website a little bit?
Oh, that's a good idea.
I love
Great
it.
idea.
All right. Robots.
Because it was just getting into the website. This website is having a little bit of issues there, but
that's all right. I gotta say though, like I know the 2-seat thing, like as adults, we're thinking about it for all of our scenarios, but like, if my wife is traveling or if I'm traveling, but like if I'm traveling, I'm not thinking about my family because I'm a terrible person. But like if my wife is traveling and I've got 3 kids and I'm trying to get them one to a soccer game, the other one's trying to get to school, I got to get I got to get my father-in-law to the doctor's office for blood
send
work.
Each of them into one car.
That would be like, I can't even tell you how much of a game changer that would be. Like that would be huge. Like the first person to crack that, the first company to crack that is 100% going to have my business.
Yeah, no, that makes a good point to just send everybody.
It's not in the vehicles, by the way. So it's not in the vehicles. Like you have the Roadster that's here and everything. It's not in there. It's only in the home page. You have a learn more page called ReRobot. So I'm trying to make sure, like, what's the actual name of this thing? And then you go down here, like, autonomy for haul, the future of autonomy and artificial intelligence will be realized to the creation of a fleet of autonomous vehicle. And then you have Robotaxi. This is still called Robotaxi.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's...
and now it's Tesla bot instead of Optimus.
Yeah. Is this new? FSD supervised with Model 3 lease starting at $329 a month.
Yeah, it's new since Wednesday.
Yeah, with 0% APR.
No, you're not reading my article, Jamie.
No. But I'm talking about the lease including... No, I got the 0% APR thing. But I'm talking about the lease including the FSD at $329 because they were leasing it for $299 a month like a week ago. So only $30 more for a lease of an FSD car? What's that all about?
Well, I mean, yeah, if you include the deal, I didn't look at the lease deal. I look only on the loan deal. But if you the loan, you get a 0% APR. If you get FSD, the $8,000 FSD within the price, they cover your interest. So I assume that the same. So if they want to do an equivalent deal with the lease, it adds up to a $30 discount on the overall price.
That's
so
weird.
Is there actual data? Discover autonomy, full self-driving. Stay up to date with full self-driving. Future.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Oh my God, there's nothing on that website, guys.
Nothing. Yeah, it's just it's a link. It's a link to the live stream. It's a picture of the Robovan, and a picture of the Tesla bot, and a picture of the Robotaxi, and then sign up for our email service.
Oh, I have some more pictures here, though, I think.
And then it has a link to purchase a Tesla with... Oh, I see what it is. Okay, the $329 a month is counting your some other stuff, the savings or whatever, gas savings.
I'm so mad that that's not a Model 2.
Yeah, you see, the trunk is open here on this picture.
Yeah, there you go.
Wait, what area is that under? What part of the
I'm on the gallery. You have to go in the gallery to get that.
Okay.
You just Google Tesla gallery and you're gonna get it. Oh, here you have a full picture of the trunk. Yeah, looks pretty big. So it's gold instead of stainless, right?
Yeah, it's made of pure gold.
No, I think they got smart. I think it's conventional sheet metal that they paint or treated to look like stainless.
Well, I mean, theoretically, they could anodize stainless and have it be different.
More picture of the Robovan too.
Colors.
Yeah, but I don't think they did that.
Apple did it once, I think.
Oh, 100%. I'm not saying they could. I'm not saying they
Yeah.
couldn't. I'm saying I don't think they did.
It is weird how it's super gold in some of these ones, like full on like
Yeah.
Persian Mercedes gold.
Ah,
You know what I'm talking about?
oh, I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Look at
It's
the
like there was
seats.
that
I was
Conan.
gonna say I used to be a Mercedes tuner. I know exactly
Okay,
which
okay.
state it is. I could probably still pull up the paint code.
Yeah. There was that that there was a Conan skit from years ago about the first gold iPhone that was really funny.
Oh my god. I get my lower back hurts just looking at those
Yeah,
seats.
the seats are, I don't know, like that's prototype stuff, I guess.
They're kind of missing some like if you had a bench seat where you could like take home someone from the bar and make out a little bit there, like I don't know. You think
It's,
that
It's
you think
pretty
that
close
center
to that,
console
though.
flips up? That's what I'm saying. You think that flips up?
Yeah.
how am I gonna make out with my robot friend? No, it does flip up because they showed when they were doing the cleaning video.
Oh.
The robot cleaner,
Mm,
they showed it flip up in that.
nice.
Yeah, so it
Oh.
definitely does flip up.
Okay.
I want that robot
missed it.
vacuum thing. Park your Tesla
Yeah.
here and get it detailed.
With the
by a
laser,
robot.
it had a little laser
Yeah.
guidance sensor on it.
While it's charging, you get it cleaned. That's, I mean, like they showed a lot of really cool stuff and then focused on really weird stuff, in my opinion. Like if you told me
Yeah.
I could pull over an inductive charging pad, get out,
Yeah.
and while my car is charging at 50 or 80 kilowatt hours, somebody's sitting there, you know, there's a robot arm in there cleaning it up. I'd be way more excited about that than I would be about anything he talked about here.
I'm
It's
in the
taking
other
me
window.
forever to download.
I'm watching the robot serve drinks right now.
Nice.
It missed the tap, and then
That's okay.
then
the
it got
remote
it.
operator.
It missed
Again,
it
it's
first,
level
then it
4.
got
The
it.
remote operator kicks on when it needs to.
Well, here's the interesting thing. I was just watching it serve a drink, and it was kind of moving around
Yeah.
instead of standing completely still while it was serving the drink, which is a little bit odd. I wouldn't have expected that.
Has it like become insulted by somebody saying something and just thrown it in their face? Like
Yeah, it throws the.
that'd be amazing.
I wish I'd know about like the communication of it, because like just looking at them trying to interact with him, it looks like it's understanding the situation, because like I said earlier, they take a selfie and he tries to do a pause. They wave, it waves. So I wish they would go into details about the perception capabilities and how they react and everything. That's the stuff that's interesting.
again,
That's the
like-
stuff that would
Yeah, and
build
again, if
confidence
it's
into like making it useful.
yeah, and if it was remote operated, that would be some really smooth remote operation.
Yeah,
And again,
I doubt that it's that would be
not
too
saying that it
hard
is.
to do.
I'm just saying that like
Yeah.
there's going to be people that are going to come online tomorrow that are like super Tesla haters that are not objective at all. They're going to say, "Oh, it was faked. This is how they did it. This was remote operation." And like I don't think that's the case, but even if it is the case, they should be proud of that because that's pretty smooth.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's kind of jiggling while it's serving a drink, which is really weird. I would expect it to be completely rock solid. But maybe they just haven't properly dampened the springs in its arms or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, this is very interesting. I mean, it's not that interesting because it's nothing we didn't know, but it is interesting to see things happening that we've been hearing about for 8 years.
Maybe we can train 2 of them to do jujitsu and put them on Fred's other screen.
No, it's over. Nikki already gets one.
It's learned to do 5 things: hand out bags, wave, do the peace sign with selfies, serve drinks, and sit on another dude's face.
Like I don't know, man. There was one shot where it was kind of doing this, and it was really, really smooth. And I don't know if you've ever done any kind of automation programming. Not that I have, but I used to hang out with this guy Nick Chambers that works at KUKA Robotics, and he was showing me how you get stuff to do that. And like that was really, really slick. And that's the only thing that, like, man, that was so good. I have a hard time believing they programmed those tool paths like that. Like that's phenomenally good. And it does balance better than Osimo.
Well,
all right. I think we're gonna jump into making our articles about this event, guys.
Yeah.
I appreciate every single one of you that jump in and join into the watch party. Tomorrow we're gonna have on this channel, as usual, the Electrek podcast at 4 p.m. and we're gonna have our thought digested and everything. And we're gonna talk to you about it. So stay tuned, subscribe, hit the notification button and everything, so that you know when we go live. It's at 4 p.m. Eastern if you need to know. But tomorrow, to get the Electrek podcast, Jamie Dow, you can get all his article on Electrek. Very cool stuff, very detailed, a lot of interesting things about policies and all that. And you can get Joe Boras on the Quick Charge Electrek podcast on the Electrek Daily YouTube channel. And his article, he focused on mainly construction equipment and trucking, electrification of those industry, which is booming right now. Very interesting stuff. So if you're into that, go follow Joe and read his article on Electrek. And my stuff is, on the Tesla beat. You know me. I'll be just losing my hair writing about Elon Musk for the next few years. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye, everyone.
All right. Have a good one.